The mysterious knock. Yuta was enjoying dinner with his parents in their cozy home. The warm aroma of freshly cooked rice and curry filled the air as they laughed and talked about their day. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. "I'll get it," Yuta said, standing up from his chair. His parents barely noticed as they continued their conversation. As Yuta opened the door, a tall man wearing a black hoodie and mask stood before him. Before Yuta could react, the man grabbed him, covering his mouth with a cloth soaked in a strange-smelling liquid. Everything around him blurred and soon, he lost consciousness. The kidnapper's hideout. When Yuta woke up, he found himself in a dark room, tied to a chair. His heart pounded in fear. He tried to scream, but a piece of cloth was tightly wrapped around his mouth. The kidnapper stood nearby, speaking on the phone. "Yes, I have the boy. If you want him back, bring the money," the man growled. Yuta realized the kidnapper was demanding a ransom. He struggled against the ropes, but they wouldn't budge. He felt hopeless, but deep inside, he believed someone would come for him. The police investigation. Back at Yuta's home, his parents panicked when they realized he was missing. They immediately called the police. Officer Takeda, a sharp and experienced detective, arrived at their house. "Don't worry, we'll find your son," he assured them. Officer Takeda examined the scene carefully. The door was slightly open, and footprints led away from the house. Using CCTV footage from nearby houses, he spotted a suspicious van driving away right after Yuta disappeared. With the van's number plate identified, the police traced it to an old warehouse on the outskirts of town. The rescue. Officer Takeda and his team arrived at the warehouse in the dead of night. Moving silently, they surrounded the building. Through a small window, Takeda saw Yuta tied up inside. "Go," he signaled to his team. The officers burst in, catching the kidnapper off guard. He tried to run, but the police quickly tackled and handcuffed him. "You're under arrest," Takeda declared. One officer untied Yuta while another called his parents. Tears filled Yuta's eyes as he was finally freed. Home again. Back home, Yuta hugged his parents tightly. "I was so scared," he whispered. "We're just glad you're safe," his mother said, wiping her tears. Officer Takeda smiled. "Always be careful when opening the door. And remember, we'll always be here to protect you." That night, Yuta slept peacefully, knowing he was finally home, safe and sound.